I want to go to the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, Republican Mike Turner of Ohio. And Chairman, I very much appreciate your time. So, you hear Selena's report, and China is slamming the U.S. as irresponsible. That's their word for shooting down the balloon. They're saying that they, again, their words, reserve the right to handle similar situations, sort of a threat to escalate. Do you think that China will escalate this situation?
Well, their balloon was an escalation, Erin, and the fact that they say this was a lost weather balloon, then they shouldn't have any concerns about us taking it down. They're certainly not going to get it back if it's just a lost weather balloon, and it certainly wouldn't be at any great cost. But it was at great cost. China calculated that they could pull this off and they could garner whatever information they were attempting to get as they crossed our most sensitive missile defense sites and nuclear weapons sites and infrastructure. And this is of grave concern. This is a national security risk. China should not be permitted to do this. It's unfortunate that the balloon was permitted to go all the way across the United States. But really, China has been exposed as having these balloons for spying, and we're not going to permit it.
So you say by the time the balloon was shot down, it had already completed its intelligence gathering mission. Now, of course, they could have transmitted all that back home, right? They don't need to get the balloon back to get the information, most likely. But in your capacity as chairman of the Intelligence Committee, what information do you think China acquired from this balloon?
Well, if you look at the path and you put X's every place where we have our major missile defense installations, nuclear weapons sites, nuclear weapons themselves, part of the infrastructure, you would see this path unfold of some of our most sensitive military sites. So, not just imaging. You can get imaging from satellites. You can get signals intelligence. You can test signals intelligence. You can test ways to defeat the military assets that are beneath them. My concern is that this would be an attempt to affect our command and control of our missile defense systems or our nuclear weapons systems.
So now, as you say, China made a grave miscalculation in terms of doing this. And perhaps one of the reasons they did is it seems that they got away with it before. The Pentagon today admitting that it did not notice 3 suspected Chinese spy balloons when they flew over the United States. That happened to be during the Trump administration. We don't exactly know when. We understand the incidents were not discovered until after Trump left office. So if that's true, obviously the Trump administration didn't shoot them down. They didn't know they were there. But do you have any answers, or do you want answers as to why the Pentagon did not notice last time? This time they appeared to notice before civilians noticed, although no one said anything until civilians noticed.
Right.
But do you have answers on this?
Yeah, so I was previously briefed on China's balloon program and its incursions into the United States prior to this balloon. So the one thing I know which concerns me the gravest is that as we look to this administration, they seem to have no urgency of these types of issues. These are real national security threats. From the last time that this administration was faced with this until this occurred, they should have been prepared. They should have been prepared either to intercept, to prevent, to take it down, or to try to to capture the balloons so they could capture the equipment that's there. Instead, they were left as casual observers watching this traverse some of our most sensitive military sites.
Right, and I know there's obviously, discussion as to when President Biden wanted to shoot it down, if he wanted to shoot it down early on, and those are fair questions. Do you, though, feel you have the answers as to why the Pentagon did not notice 3 other spy balloons flying? I mean, that seems very concerning, that they could be flying and our own military doesn't notice.
Right, and the other aspect of this is if they didn't, by now they know why, and we should be immediately fixing this. One of the questions and demands that Congress is going to have as we're getting our briefings is, okay, now that the whole public knows this, we know DOD has known this for a while, the administration has known this for a while, why weren't we doing anything? And if we are to do anything, what should we do? And let's get on with it. Let's get this done and protect ourselves and make certain that we don't just get to watch these balloons go across our country again.
All right, Chairman Turner, thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.